Hey everybody, Dr. Oliver here for backintelligence.com, and today we're going to talk about all things rhomboid pain. If you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button to get access to the videos as we put them out. Rhomboid pain. What is rhomboid pain? So rhomboid pain is pain on the inside of your shoulder blade. So it's very often that people will get pain on the inside of either shoulder blade or both shoulder blades. There's a variety of reasons that this can happen, and we're going to go through the possible causes and treatments for each one to see if we can give you relief. It's a very common area to see dysfunction and problems in people, and I see it in my office all the time, and it can be one of the nagging ones. And if you don't address it properly, it's never going to get better. So we're going to start with the simplest thing first. Well, maybe it's just muscles. Maybe it's just the rhomboid in the area, which is a muscle that comes off your spine and your shoulder blade there. Maybe it's your levator scapula, which is just above that. Maybe it's those muscles just being abnormally tense, causing the pain. So the simplest thing we can try first is just to release them. So we'll do a ball release on the rhomboid. We'll do a stretch on the levator scap. And then we'll see if that gives you relief. And if it doesn't, we'll move on to the next thing and see if that helps. So we're going to have Leon come out, and we're going to go over the release on the rhomboids first using a ball. All right, so we got Leon here, and he's going to work on that release of the rhomboid or the muscles in the general vicinity. So again, here's your shoulder blade, your scapula on either side. This rhomboid pain or mid-back pain generally will occur along one of these regions. It can span a big area or it can be isolated down to a smaller spot. So we're going to see if releasing it works. So all we're going to do is use a ball along this ridge here and see if we can get a release out of it. So Leon's going to take the ball, he's going to put it up inside his shoulder blade, and he's going to go right against the wall. So he's gently going to go up and down, trying to look to see if he can find any trigger points in there. And if he finds one, he's just going to stop on it, and he's going to hold. He's going to breathe and see if it releases. It should release within a minute. If it's ever still painful and it's not getting better within a minute, just leave it alone. But if it releases in 10 seconds, you're done. So you might want to look for a couple up and down that area, a little bit below it, a little bit above it. But just if you see any really hot points there, let's just work on them. One of the other things that Leon can do if he wants to is take his arm, stick it straight out in front of him, and reach across his chest, and then just hold it gently and relax the right shoulder. Now, if he turns his body to the right slightly, his whole body, you can get inside that blade a little deeper because it pulls the shoulder blade out of the way. So just another way to address it. So you're going to try this. You're going to try to release these muscles on the inside. You can do this 3 times a day for several days. If you start to get relief of your symptoms, great. Maybe this is all the issue. But if you're not, then we need to look at other things as well. So after this, we're going to go through a little stretch for that levator scap and that upper trap area and see if we can get some relief out of that. All right, so now we've tried to release the rhomboid or the muscles just in that general vicinity. Now we're going to try a little stretch. Maybe a stretch will help. So your levator scap can become involved a lot and give you pain around that region as well. So let's address that. You might have released it with the ball. It's just above that, just on the top corner of that shoulder blade. But now we're going to try a little stretch. So Leon is just going to stretch that area. So he's going to we'll take his left arm, and he's going to reach up on the top of his head. He's going to turn his head slightly to the left and kind of bring his nose down towards his armpit. He can bring his right arm underneath him as well to get a little deeper stretch. Again, we're going to look in this general area here. This is where that levator scapula goes, attaches to the neck, up to the top of the shoulder blade. And we're going to sit, we're going to hold 20 seconds, see if we can get a release out of it. You're also going to get a little trap stretch in here as well, but we're targeting that levator scapula. So 20 seconds, he's going to switch to the other side. So drops the arm. Again, he's going to reach up and around with the other arm, turn his head towards his armpit, kind of bring that nose down toward the armpit. And again, we're holding, trying to stretch up through anywhere from the neck here down into his shoulder blade area. 20 seconds, see if we get some release out of this as well. So if you're not getting relief from the self-myofascial release of the rhomboids or the muscles in the area or the stretching, it's just not getting at it and it's not giving relief, well then that's probably not what's causing it. We need to look other places. One of the biggest places I'll see this issue will be actually with the rotation or the mobility of your thoracic spine. Your thoracic spine is your upper back in between your shoulder blades. And it's really important that it moves well. The problem is when we sit a lot and we do a lot of the activities we do in modern society, we lose the mobility in that area. And losing mobility in your thoracic spine is a problem, and it can cause a lot of stress in that area, which can cause pain that mimics or has people confused that it's just coming from the muscles. So we want to improve the area. So what we're going to do is go over a little test you can do to see if you have decreased rotation, and if you do, a couple little quick exercises you can do to improve it. So we're going to have Leon come out, and Leon's going to do a little rotation. So he's going to get in a kneeling position. So what we'll have Leon do actually is we'll have him face the camera. So why don't you face the camera, Leon? we're going to have him squat down. He's going to get on his knees, and he's going to tuck down. He's going to get his butt nice and close to his heels. The further down you can get your butt to the heels, the better, because it's going to limit the mobility in your low back, actually. They call it lumbar locking, and we're going to have most of the movement be in our upper back. So Leon's going to go down. He's going to put one hand right in front of his left knee. We'll do the left hand in front of the left knee. Slide that back a little bit for me, Leon. Perfect. He's going to take his right hand. He's going to put it on the base of his neck. Yep, so slide it down a little bit for me. Perfect, Leon. Now all he's going to do is simply rotate his elbow up towards the ceiling, and while he looks at his elbow with his head. So he's going to look up at it, and then he's going to rotate down. He's going to do a couple of those, and it's best if you can have someone else do this with you and look at you from the same viewpoint you're looking at Leon now, or set up your phone or camera and just look at it. Do 2 to 3 on that side, and then switch and try the other side. So he's going to put that right hand in front of that right knee. He's going to put the left hand on the base of his neck up there. He's going to rotate up. And so what we're looking for is there a difference side to side? Is there an asymmetry? Does one side seem to move more or less than the other? As you can see in Leon, his left side is a little more restricted than his right side. So what that means is we're generally going to target the left side a little more. So a lot of times I'll tell patients, do twice as many on the left that you do on the right. Still do the right, but to add more to the left side, the side that is more limited. So this alone right here is an exercise. The test becomes the exercise. So you can simply do this exercise repeatedly. So you get on the ground, sit your butt towards your heels, hand on the base of the neck, and you're rotating up. You want to do at least 10 on each side, but again, if you're doubling it up, maybe you do 10 on the right and 20 on the left. If the left side's your limited side. And you're going to constantly work on that rotation through that shoulder blade, trying to get that elbow up towards the sky. If you don't find this as effective as getting that rotation, there's other exercises. There's a bunch of different thoracic mobility exercises we have. Just look through our page and you can find different videos, but we're going to go over one more. It's called an open book. So Leon's going to lay down on his side, facing the camera. So we got Leon laying on his side here. He's going to have his knees and legs stacked together nicely. He's got his hands stacked together. He's in a nice straight position with his back, and all he's going to do is open that book up. So he's going to have that left hand come up to the sky. He's going to look at it, always look at his fingers with his head. He's going to rotate as far as possible, and then he's going to come back. He's going to make sure his legs don't lift up. He doesn't feel his legs lift up in the air. Show a little compensation there. What you shouldn't do with those legs, you don't want those knees to roll over. You want the knees and the legs to stay on the ground. So we're working on, again, this thoracic mobility. You may find if you have a limited side that side is going to be harder, or you don't reach the ground. Again, if you see that, increase the reps on that side. We want to maintain that mobility or increase that mobility as much as possible to get them at least even. So again, we're going to do sets of at least 10, 20 if that side seems problematic, and we're going to do both sides. So after you did that, you would just simply roll over to the other side and try the same thing. So again, knees are stacked together, hands are stacked together. You can relax and roll over. It is best if you can try to relax your head back a little bit just so it's not so elevated up, and back and forth. And again, we're just trying to open up, follow the hand with our eyes the whole time, trying to get that hand to touch the ground. Good, back and forth. So try these couple thoracic mobility drills to get more mobility in that thoracic spine. But we have others as well. Just go on our page and just search for thoracic mobility, and you'll find others that you can try. Whatever is most effective for you can be helpful. And you may find just doing these exercises consistently over a couple week period can really reduce the pain around your rhomboid or around that mid-shoulder blade. So you release the rhomboid, you stretch the levatoscapula, really worked on that thoracic mobility, but you're still having pain around the inside of that shoulder blade, around that rhomboid region. So what now? Well, it's also very common to see that pain around the inside of the shoulder blade has nothing to do with actually the inside of the shoulder blade. It's coming from somewhere else. So if you've beat it up, you've attacked it over and over, you've had massage therapists work on it, you have chiropractors work on it, and you're not getting relief out of that area, that may not be the problem. A lot of times it can come from stress above typically. So just abnormal posture and positioning, head position. When our head is forward in this abnormal position, it puts a lot of strain in that upper back there. So just working on the posture correction, working on those chin tucking exercises that we've gone over, and we have videos on these, just go to our page and search for posture correction, anterior head carriage, chin tucks, all those things to help correct that position. That alone may provide a tremendous amount of relief as well. The other thing it could be coming from a different muscle. So sometimes the lats can target muscle pain. So you have your lats along here, you might have a trigger point in there, you might see some shoulder blade pain as well. The last thing it may be, and is relatively common to see with some individuals, especially if they sit a lot and especially if they have poor posture, is going to be coming from a disc in your neck. So the cervical discs in the neck, one of the first places they're going to refer pain is inside of the shoulder blade. They may never refer pain down the arm at all, and you may just have a nagging pain on the inside of that shoulder blade. So that may be the source of your pain as well. And doing everything we talked about, massaging and stretching, is not going to fix that. It may help to do the chin tucks. It will help to work on the posture and ergonomics of it, though. So if you find that all those other things didn't work, you want to gear towards the neck itself being the issue and correcting that. And if none of this works, then you should get a proper evaluation to see where your pain is coming from.
All right, thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give us a like as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos just like this. Now, if you'd like to get 3 video exercises that we've done with Dr. David Oliver that will help you to correct some of that forward head, those rounded shoulder, that kyphosis that we're all suffering from today because we're looking down at our phones, we're hunched over our computers all day. So these exercises are meant to correct your posture. So if you'd like to get them, they're completely free. There's going to be a link to get them somewhere here on the video or down below in the description. Just go to that page, enter your email, and we'll send you those videos right away.